Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Healthy Living event sponsored by the Juice Plus community. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Carol Turnbow. I am a wife, I'm a mom, I'm a mama, I'm a CrossFit coach. I wear many hats. I'm a CrossFit Masters athlete, but my passion is nutrition and teaching people that food really does heal the body. Tonight, you're going to be hearing from myself and some of my teammates. We've all joined on a mission to inspire healthy living around the world. And I'm going to start tonight by introducing our product line. Our product line is simple and will remain simple because it's food. It's food that our bodies need on a daily basis. Juice Plus has figured out how to put fruits and vegetables in a capsule form. It's amazing. It's an easy way to be consistent in your fruits and vegetables. And I'm going to start by showing you our fruit, our vegetable, and our berry blend. These three blends are 100% plant-based all the way down to the capsule. They're better than organic, non-GMO, picked at the peak of ripeness with an NSF seal of approval. And what that means is that what is in the product is on the label. So this label, for instance, is our vegetable label. You might not be able to see it, but I'll read it to you. It's got broccoli, parsley, tomato, carrot, garlic, beet, spinach, cabbage, lemon peel, rice bran, and kale. It's vegetables in a capsule. My favorite part of our product is that it carries a nutrition label. Like I said, Juice Plus has figured out how to put food in a capsule, fruits and vegetables in a capsule, I'm sorry, and it can't have a nutrition label unless it's real food. So that's one of my favorite things. That's exactly why I am on this product today. We also have our full spectrum of plant-based omegas, 3, 5, 6, 7, and 9. Juice Plus we all kind of know that we can get our omega-3s from fish oil. Well, Juice Plus has cut out the middleman, the fish, and went directly to what the fish eat, which is the algae oil, in order to get our omega-3s. And then they blended it with other oils like pomegranate seed oil, tomato seed oil to get a full spectrum of vegan omegas, plant-based. Love this product. The 4 products together with our complete protein powder, we have chocolate and vanilla complete protein powder. I take one every morning, mix my shake with water, swallow my capsules, and it's just the best way to start your day. Vegan products as well. We also have an aeroponic growing system. It's called a tower garden. Mine is actually in my hallway right now. I'm in Indiana. I think it was 0 degrees when I woke up yesterday morning. And I am growing fresh vegetables, herbs, lettuce in my hallway, and we've been eating off of it all winter long. So it's amazing that I can have fresh produce when you go to the store, and a lot of them are bare, especially with the lettuces like the spinach and stuff like that. But I'm getting fresh produce off of it daily. We eat off of it all the time. I love having the fresh herbs in the house as well. So like I said, we have an amazing lineup of speakers tonight. Following our story time, we're also going to have a training event that I invite all of you to stay for. But we're going to start. I'm going to introduce you to Susan Wittenbach. She's a presidential marketing director plus and 100 Club with the Juice Plus company. She's here. She's brought a team of people to share their stories about the Juice Plus products and the Juice Plus business. So Susan, welcome. Your team, welcome. Go ahead and unmute and you can share.
Well, thank you so much. It's so good to see everybody and to share my story. And I'm 75 years old, and I am so excited about that because my story is really about quality of life. And at this point of the game, and I love this Juice Plus product and the business. The relationships and the quality of my life because of this business is unbelievable. And I say that because it's not all been easy, but it's been worthwhile. And it all started for me at a high school class reunion in 1994. So I've been in the business almost 28 years. And that's where I ran into Cynthia Gompers, who she and I went from kindergarten through high school together, and brownies and summer camp and all of that. And of course, off to different colleges and, different parts of the country and raising families. And we ran into each other at the reunion. And Cindy said, started talking to me about Juice Plus. And I said, Cindy, I can't process what you're saying. And she said, can I call you in a few weeks? And I said, of course. And she called. And I remember I was standing in my kitchen and it was at noon. And I said, okay, what is this stuff? And she said, fruits and veggies in a capsule. Well, I had this flash of my kids feeding the dog Brussels sprouts under the dining room table. And I knew I was trying to deliver, but not succeeding all the time. So how do I get it? And she said, you can become a member and you can get the profit instead of me. So I thought, okay. And I was full-time interior design, involved in the community, had family, all of that. And I wasn't looking for another thing to do, but this made sense to me. And so I joined, and I called my dearest friend who from college, who I was maid of honor in her wedding, and that's Nancy Glenn, and she lived in California. And I thought, well, that's the land of fruits and nuts. So I'm going to call her and see what she thinks about this stuff. And remember, it's in the 90s. And I think we'd gotten away from a lot of the healthy eating we grew up with and more processed foods. So Nancy said, I'm too busy. And I said, well, how about you go to this boot camp in Lake Tahoe and check it out? Well, she fell in love with the community, the people, and the whole energy of it. And she became my first NMD. We partnered together, as Jay said, get a buddy. And then I tell you this because it's interesting how we meet people on our journey to build our business. And the next thing I did, and I've always been interested in personal growth and doing the best I can to learn about people and support my own life and others. And I went to Nancy had recommended this Hoffman process, and that was in north of Milwaukee, Wisconsin, in a monastery. So I went there for 10 days, and guess who I met there? Candace Corson. And she and I were the night owls up there bashing our pillows together and laughing over some of our little growth journey. And she ended up being my roommate at the last weekend. And I told Candace about Juice Plus, and she'd already heard about it. And I said, may I call you when we get home? Because now we have research. And Candace, as gracious as she always is, she said, of course. And she lived in South Bend, and I lived in Grand Rapids, Michigan. And I called, and we followed up a few times. We played a little phone tag, and she answered, and I shared the research with her, and it was the right timing for her. So, you know, Candace's story. I'm so fortunate to have Candace in my life, and now a lifelong friend. And another story I had, when I first joined, we didn't have auto ship and auto reorder. So I had orange boxes of Juice Plus in the trunk of my car. And I was at the bookstore, and I ran into one of my friends, Mary Bacon. And I said, Mary, I've got the greatest thing in the trunk of my car. It's fruits and veggies in a capsule. I think you need this. And so she bought a box, and a few years later, and she became a customer. And a few years later, she called me and she said, you know, my daughter-in-law, Edie, lives in the East Coast, and she's got cancer, and I'd love to get this for her. Well, Edie happened to have gone to high school with Gretchen Comstock, and she had her Juice Plus with her. And she said, Gretchen said, curious Gretchen, how do I get that stuff? And she said, well, you've got to call this person in Michigan named Susan. So she and I played phone tag and for a while, and I caught her one Saturday morning, and she had the conversation with her husband at the night before, and he was asking for help with 3 kids in private school. So she said, okay, I'll do it. And, you know, the rest is history there. So there's so many different ways. And I just want to emphasize the importance of having conversation and engaging with people and following through, because they don't always get it right away, and it's not always the right time. And Ron Watkins taught me years ago, it's about their timing, not our timing. And so, I was interior design, and my husband retired and at one point in this journey, and I needed to be in town. He wanted to travel and be at our summer cottage on Lake Michigan. So it was a transition for me so that I wasn't locked into being at home. And we went into, that lifestyle, and I transitioned, and I loved it because it's a great business to be move around with. And then there are a couple other things that happened in my journey. And one is that David contracted glioblastoma, which was brain cancer. And he had that for 2.5 years, and he passed away in 2014. And it was gut-wrenching for me. It was awful. And I just want to say that the company had my back all the way through, and my business didn't shake up at all. And I touched my business. It was such a gift for me to have this business when I was going through great pain and tragedy, and to get out of myself and reach out to my Juice Plus community and family was life-saving for me. Because, and Cheryl often tells us that, to serve others when we're stuck, it's get out and reach out to others is the way. And then just a few years ago, my cottage was Lake Michigan swelled up and had severe water issues. And my cottage was 8 feet from falling into the lake. And I was sued by my neighbors because they didn't want me to save the cottage. They didn't want rocks on the sand dune because they walked on it, and it was awful. But again, it was a very expensive project, and I had to go to court, and it was between the lawyer and the rocks. It was costly. I couldn't have afforded it if it weren't for this business. It really, again, was another gut-wrenching thing. But this business is my rock, and it is stable and solid. And my community in this business, we care about each other, we support each other, we love each other. So I am just so grateful for what this quality of life has given me. My health is great, and my blood work and everything else. At my age, I can't imagine that being part of this community. And I want everyone to consider that as they're in their journey. And Cheryl and I have talked a little bit about the mindset we'll get into afterwards. But I want to introduce Jackie Aldrich. Dear Jackie is an NMD, and she has from Colorado Springs. And I've just loved getting to know you, Jackie, better and better in the last few years, especially. And Jackie is amazing. She's a customer magnet. She's got over 130 customers. She is customer care at the best. And that gratifies you, Jackie, doesn't it? It just, you're amazing. You're amazing. And your story is really amazing. So please share.
I think I'm unmuted. Can you guys hear me? Because my story is so intense, and so many things brought me to Juice Plus, I decided that I wrote it out, and I'm gonna read it to you guys. And I can fill in any blanks that you have. But first off, as Susan said, my name is Jackie Aldrich, and I have had quite the Juice Plus journey. I was born and raised in a small town in Loretto, Minnesota. I was a preemie, and I struggled with weak lungs since birth. I usually got pneumonia or bronchitis at least once a year. We moved to Colorado Springs in February of '95, and moving from sea level, to 7,200 square feet was quite a challenge for me. Acclimating to the altitude was not easy. In 1996, I was still struggling, but blamed it on the altitude. After a full blood work with the doctor, he told me that I was a full-blown diabetic. I was immediately put on the miracle drug of the month, Rosalyn. After several months and a new doctor, we found out that the drug had caused my kidneys a lot of damage, and I now had kidney disease to add to my diabetes. I was exhausted all the time, but I just kept pushing through. I was the room mom for all three of my kids, and I was in charge of all the fundraisers in the schools and the sports teams for my kids, that my kids were all in. This was the spring of 1998, and by now I was doing urine analysis every 2 weeks to see when I would start dialysis. I had a meeting with a lady that had ideas for fundraising, and she told me I looked so tired. I told her my issues, and she said, I have something that could help you. And I listened to her talk about Juice Plus and said immediately, I'll give it a try. I had nothing to lose, as the doctors told me to get my things in order because my kidney disease was progressing so fast that I would not have long to live. I ordered the Juice Plus and started having more energy the first week. I couldn't believe it. I took the 4-month supply and decided I should cancel because I felt better and I didn't feel that I could afford it as I was too sick to work. And as a mom, we put everything else first. After a month or so off the Juice Plus, I started feeling tired and exhausted again. And my husband noticed and said, you need to get more of that Juice Plus. I think that's what really helped you. And then at the time he went and ordered Juice Plus, and we went to an event where Smokey Santillo, the creator of Juice Plus, talked about how he came up with Juice Plus. And by the time we left, my husband Larry said, get the whole family on it. I signed up to be a partner on August 18th of 1998, just for the discount. We never missed a day again. My kidneys kept improving and the doctors couldn't believe it. We only had the fruits and veggies back then, but there was more to come. Due to time limits on this call, I'm going to give you the short version of my 9 lives. As my husband always tells everyone, I have 9 lives. I was insulin dependent for 14 years. I got off the insulin and I'm still on some medication, oral medication. My kidneys are normal now and have been for many years. I was never on dialysis. In 2001, I had a 2.5-inch blood clot in my right lung caused by a surgery that I had from dealing with scar tissue. It dissolved in 3 months with the berry blend. I doubled up on it. Actually, Dr. Corson gave me the advice to double up on it. I fell in February of 2014 in a parking lot on ice, and I have a traumatic brain injury. This really set me back. I thought the kidney disease was tough. This was unbelievable. Sorry about that. I could not leave the house because of all the issues with my brain and my memory. I had been to so many doctors and tried so many natural remedies, and nothing seemed to help. We spent hundreds of thousands of dollars out of our pocket to try and get this to work. Then in 2017, Juice Plus sent out a new product for us NMDs to try. It was the Omegas. After the first month of eating them, I started to improve. I could remember things. I could put sentences completely together. I could go out of my house on my own. My Omegas were my liquid gold. I will always struggle with my TBI. It causes me to be anxious and depressed, but it's the only thing that helped me crawl out of my shell again. That's my product story in a nutshell. There's other things in there that I'm happy to talk to people about, but I just wanted to give you the basics. I will touch on my business story for just a minute. I signed my distributor form on August 18th, 1998, just for the discount, ha ha. When people asked me what I was doing because I looked so much better, I would tell them I take this Juice Plus, and then I'd sign them up. And I suggested that they did the same thing I did and just sign up for the discount. I ate Juice Plus for 10 years before I treated Juice Plus as a business. I missed out on my warm market because I was too sick and never really wanted to be that salesperson. When the economy went south, we had 3 kids in college and my husband took a 45% pay cut. He asked if I could get a job and help out. I had no skills. I waitressed 22 years and my body couldn't handle that again. Larry suggested that I sell Juice Plus. I was a sales coordinator by this time, just by dabbling in it and telling people to sign up and their business would grow and all this stuff. And I thought, well, this can't be too tough, so I'm going to try it. So I thought I'd give it a try. I needed to build my business and I needed to find some new people. So I started doing farmers markets, craft fairs, networking groups and events. And that's why that way people came to me to get info. I'd be standing there and they'd walk up to me and ask for information. I didn't have to be that sales lady. I made NMD in September of 2012. If you want to know what my favorite part is, it's customer care. The stories from my customers are priceless, and that's why I love my Juice Plus, and I will do it forever. So that's kind of it, and I'm sorry that I had to read it, but believe me, I go down the rabbit hole because I could tell you story after story.
I think that's part of your success, Jackie. You're just charming and relatable with so many people, and they love you dearly, and you do wonderful things for your customers. You don't let anybody fall through the cracks, and I know that the power of events. Certainly, hearing Smokey got you really engaged, I think.
Absolutely.
And events are amazing when we can do them again. Well, we're now fortunate. What if Zoom had never occurred? Where would we be? But we have to be grateful for that. So you actually met Deanna Brunson at a networking
group. Yep.
And Deanna is from Colorado Springs, born and raised, and so is her husband, and a mom and a grandma, and a mega realtor in town. You've been doing real estate for a long time, and you're a QSSC. So I just want to welcome you, and thanks for sharing what gets you excited about Juice Plus, Deanna. You're muted.
Thank you. Yeah, Jackie taught me the way to do this was through farmers markets. And so that has become a big part of my niche with Juice Plus. I'm very people oriented. I love meeting people. And as Jackie said, they come right to you. So I've been doing farmers markets now for a number of years. I started out doing 4 different markets a week, and that lasted about 3 years. Now I do 2 markets a week, and hopefully give it more quality time than I did when I was doing 4 a week. But, it's given me a little bit more gypsy blood, which, I enjoy. I realize I enjoy being outside. I enjoy the challenge of meeting new people and finding out what makes them tick. And, it's just a real blessing when you can meet strangers like that and then become friends with them and make a difference in their lives and their families' lives, if they will allow you to do so. And so I don't know what I would do if I didn't have the farmers markets, because it's been a lot of fun. And one thing I touch on when I'm with them is farming practices. Lately, there have been some advertising on TV, and now they come up and ask me about products they've seen, but it's made them aware of the value of fruits and vegetables. So that's been great. One thing I tell them, my dad was quite the entrepreneur, and among the things he did, he was a farmer. He grew up on a farm. So I asked them if they are familiar with farming and if they are aware there are a lot of different farming practices. My goodness, our soils are so depleted today, and it's just fun launching into Juice Plus and their high quality bar that they have set, and you know, doing my best to explain that to people. So many people today, you know, how many years ago was it when most everybody touched a farm in some way? But today, think about it. A lot of people have never had a farming experience. So I like to go back to all that. I have done networking groups. I do craft bazaars, and you know, thanks to Jackie, it's gotten me out in a way where I think it's sometimes easier to sign up strangers than it is family or, you know, other people. Now, you're an exception to that, Susan, because my goodness, you knew Nancy Glenn for years. So, you know, I'm going to revisit some of those, you know, people that maybe I thought were not approachable. Maybe I'll get them off my chicken list.
No, I talked about 2 class reunions, mine with Cynthia and then Gretchen at hers. So
yes.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't have to look a certain way. It can be any old way, you know, in the world. And who was it that did the talk on the 3-foot rule? It does get in your blood in so many ways, not only the health way, because I do explain to people sometimes if at first they don't notice a difference, have some blood work done, because you'll find it in your blood work.
There you go. I know you're passionate about natural health and healing. Yeah.
Anyway, I've enjoyed it, and it is wonderful to have a passion where you can make a difference for other people.
That's great. Thank you so much. And let's go to Eunice Downing-Jackson. And I think I see Truly on there. Eunice, you are a Dr. Sears graduate and very interested in healing, and you're a lifestyle coach, and this has been a passion for you as well. And I think you're in Southern California. I think you've even been to Cheryl Cortese's house for some trainings, haven't you?
Yes.
Yeah. So please share yourself with us. You're a sales coordinator with our company.
Yes, and I want to thank you, Susan and Cheryl, for having me here today. I started taking Juice Plus when my daughter, who was on the track and field team at UC Davis, attended a heart health conference. And the doctor there said the way she gets her 5 to 9 fruits and vegetables a day is she takes Juice Plus. So Shamika gave me a call and asked me if I can order Juice Plus for her. She knew the value of nutrition. I signed up as a partner to get the discount, and over 15 years later, I am still a partner and eating Juice Plus. So why? Because I have experienced what it means to have a strong immune system. I have experienced what it means to have quick recovery after exercise. And I love saying no when I go to a doctor's office and they say, "Are you on any medication?" No, I am not. And then you go down that long list of chronic illnesses and diseases, and I can say, no, 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 no. So what is my passion? My passion is being able to say no to chronic illness and disease. This gives me joy. And the education that I received with Juice Plus and the research behind the product has given me the confidence that I need to share with family and friends. And the company, I like the fact that the product line, as we mentioned, is short, it's not long, and we have the fruits and the veggies, and it's just simple. And I love the fact that we have such support, team support from the company, and from the members on my team. They're really awesome. We support each other and we can go at our own pace, which is fast or slow. And I would like to really share, I just cannot forget about the Tower Garden. So these all just makes it so much easier in terms of taking care of your health. And I want to share a short story about my mom, who was, this is the power of fruits and vegetables. My mother was my first customer, and she became a raving fan because she experienced the energy, less clothes, and reduction in the medication. In 2019, my mom, at the age of 90, suffered a stroke while visiting my sister in North Carolina. And the doctors, she was on life support, and they gave her a less than 10% chance of living. And we tried to tell her, she is no average 90-year-old. She's active. But with prayer, we got the family together and we prayed. And so what we started doing, and this was after she made it out of ICU, we started feeding her the Juice Plus powders in the spoon with water. And we kept putting it up to her lips each day to get it in her system. And as she started recovering and becoming alert and everything, we tried to share it with the doctor, but he kept telling us it was our imagination. So we did a video. We took a video of what she was doing during the day, because he would come in the morning. And when he came in one day, I showed it to him. It got his interest. He came back and I said, Mom, say hi to the doctor with a smile. I said, say smile. So she smiled at the doctor. So then the doctor said, well, hello, Miss McBride. How are you doing today? And my mom gave him an even bigger smile and shook her head that she was doing okay. And I looked around and the doctor had tears in his eyes. And I said, why, doctor, I believe I see tears in your eyes. And he smiled and he walked out of the room. It is so important for us to be an advocate for our loved ones, because with this product that we have the ability to change lives. And we say, praise God for Juice Plus, because it gave my mom a fighting chance. And he can do the same for you and your family. Thank you, Susan.
Oh, Eunice, thanks so much. What a heartwarming story. It's amazing what we find. And these stories on these calls, these healthy living calls, are so heart touching that we want to bring more and more people to this call. And now with that, I'd like to bring Roslyn Baker, my dear friend from Grand Rapids, Michigan area, and our buddy. And Roz has been so graciously, she's so bright in speaking and engagement, and you have studied brain health particularly, but many, many other things, and how nutrition does make the difference for your patients and clients and everyone else. And Roslyn, we're so grateful for you and what you can articulate for us. So tell us, why did you join Juice Plus?
Thank you, Susan. Well, it's thanks to you. About 13 years ago, Susan knew that I was a type 1 diabetic and that I had a granddaughter with eczema, but that was about all she knew about me, other than I was a professional and I did brain training with neurofeedback. And she introduced Juice Plus to me. And, you know, I had been diabetic for 25 years. I didn't think I needed more fruits and vegetables. But my granddaughter, who was 8 at the time and who had had eczema for 4 years, clearly needed something because she was not getting better. And so I signed up for Juice Plus, not because I thought I needed it, but because I could get it free for my granddaughter for 4 years. After about, I would say maybe 3-4 months of Molly taking the Juice Plus, she basically got rid of her eczema. And I was so just impressed with that. And so amazed by that I called Susan up and I said to Susan, I said, I want you to put 5 of my family members on Juice Plus. And she said, well, why don't you join as a partner with us? And I said, nope, you can't make me do it. Not willing to do it. I'm not good at that stuff. I'm a professional. I thought I would ruin my reputation if I started talking about fruits and vegetables, and she said, well, then you sign up as a partner, put your family members on it, and just focus on that. And so that's what I did. And then about 3 years into being on Juice Plus, my diabetic doctor, I went to a diabetic appointment, and he said, kind of casually, I had no idea the importance of what this meant to me, but he said, I only have 2 patients in my entire diabetic practice with blood labs as good as yours, and you both take Juice Plus. And I started crying, and I joked to say I was crying because I thought, well, great, now I got to take this stuff for the rest of my life. And of course I will, and I love it. But it was right away, I thought, oh my gosh, my father was diagnosed at age 28 a type 1 diabetic, and I was diagnosed at age 28 as a type 1 diabetic. So I obviously have my father's genes. And so the struggle for me about being diabetic at the same age as my father is he died when I was 19 and he was 54 of a diabetic related heart attack. And so when my doctor told me that that my blood labs had improved since getting on Juice Plus after 25 years of really working to take good care of myself, I was just dumbfounded, and I knew I would take Juice Plus for the rest of my life. And so what I didn't know even at that point was that how much I was going to fall in love with the people and the product and the business. And Susan would call me on the phone. She goes, are you listening to this amazing call? And I'd be making dinner. I'd be like, no. She'd be like, I'll 3-way you in. And she did that a lot because I kept kind of resisting the business aspect of it. And then I'd listen to the call and I'd be like, well, that was cool. And I kept learning more and more and more about a healthy lifestyle. And to me, that was just so remarkable because I was into health and well-being. I just never had a way to really make it affordable and make it practical in my life until I was with Juice Plus. And so, and from there, she invited me to speak. And when first time I ever spoke about Juice Plus, I wasn't even quite sure how the brain related to, I knew about the brain. I didn't know how the brain related to Juice Plus. And I was doing a lot of research and went in to speak about it. And I only invited my 2 best friends to hear me because I wasn't sure how much I knew or how well I was going to pull that off. And now I speak all the time on behalf of Juice Plus and brain health. And it's one of the most glorious experiences of my life. And I just feel so valuable. So one of the things I know is that most of us want to do more than survive. We want to thrive, and the people that I know, they want an affordable way to stay healthy and to have healthy foods and to be able to avoid expensive prescriptions. And, we say in this business that, prevention matters, that we want to live a healthy lifestyle along the way and not worry about falling apart at a certain point in our life. We want to, I like to say, die young at the oldest age possible. And that's, I think you can see from all of us in our wonderful health stories, how much you can do that when you flood your body with nutritional excellence. So those of us who join the business and we share the power of plants and we're compassionate people, we live healthy, focused lives, and I'm surrounded by people who are like-minded, who love me and care about me. And our mission is that we help others who have plant deficiencies, because unless you're on Juice Plus, you have a plant deficiency, have affordable, research proven, cost-effective nutrition in their lives. And to me, what a gift that I can give that to the people I care about, and how much I love sharing that. So I just think about it this way. We're in 23 countries. The healthier each one of us is, the healthier the world is. And the healthier the world is, the healthier we are. And I'm just so proud to be a part of Juice Plus and the global mission and, this global network. We're powered by busy people who have caring relationships and who understand the life-changing medicinal power of plants. So, we're in the business of solutions, and I feel so blessed that Susan looked at it that way when she got in touch with me, because she was talking about solutions, and I love solutions. And so I don't think it gets much simpler than the Juice Plus fruits and vegetables designed to impact the health of children and adults. And I just feel truly blessed, and I just wouldn't have missed this for the world. I do miss the conferences with 7,000 people all in attendance with no coughing, no sniffling, everybody's shiny and glowy and their skin's all nice and rosy from all the vineyard blend we all take. And I do miss those, and someday maybe we'll all get back together again. They really are, they're really worth were a treasure for me during those years. So anyway, so thank you, Susan, for inviting me on this call. And I appreciate all the people who are here listening. And, you know, if you have any interest at all in thinking that you might like to get healthier, because this is a lifestyle business, ask the person who invited you and be sure to learn more about this. And I hope you'll join us, because it is truly a journey of a lifetime.
Mm-hmm. Wow, I love the compassion and the love and the lifting up and the amazing, amazing stories. It's really simple and it's the truth. So,
yes. Thank you guys so much for sharing your stories. We really enjoyed hearing them tonight. We're here every Thursday night sharing our stories of the power of the product, the power of the business. I invite all of you to stay on. We have a business training event immediately following this call with Cheryl Cortese, Presidential Marketing Director Plus of the company as well. So I'm going to stop the recording and we're going to start a new one for the business call. But thank you all for being here. We appreciate you.